Hello everyone, before we dive into the story, let's set the stage with some background information. Death Note is a popular Japanese manga and anime series written by Tsugumi Ohba and illustrated by Takeshi Obata. The series revolves around a high school student, Light Yagami, and the story unfolds after he comes into possession of a supernatural notebook called the Death Note. Volume 1 Boredom. The story starts from the realm of the Shinigami. Same old thing, day, what a bore. This world is a rotten mess. 2 death's heads, I win. It's been 5 days now. Any place you go around here, it's all barren anyway. HM? Where you off to, are you okay? About time I got going. Hey, weren't you carrying a second one behind the old one's back? You lost both? Whoops. You really screwed up, man. I dropped my death note. What? Yeah, the human world. So, you got where you dropped it? This single notebook dropped into the human world by a Shinigami sets off an all-out battle between 2 chosen people. The book dropped near to Light Yagami, whose age is 17. Light says, a book. He picks that book. This is a death god's notebook. Death Note. A notebook of death. Ah, it's in English. What a pain, how to use it. He reaches home. I am home. Like those dumb chain letters that say, you'll get cancer if you don't pass them on. Talk about sick. Why is everybody into this kind of crap, anyway? The human whose name is written in this note shall die. After writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. If the cause of death is not specified, the person will simply die of a heart attack. If the cause of death is written within 40 seconds of writing the person's name, it will happen. This note will not take effect unless the writer has the person's face in their mind when writing his/her name. Therefore, people sharing the same name will not be affected. A prank this intricate isn't too bad, I guess. So you can let people die peacefully, or make them suffer. How stupid. Write in their name, and they die. 5 days later. Light, is that you? I'm home. See ya. Oh, yeah. Here. Well, I'll be studying so don't bother me, okay? Okay, dear. Aha. Oh my! You placed first again, and these practice college entrance exams are nationwide. I already got what I want. Oh, Light. Is there anything you've been wanting? Anything at all? Just let me know. No, Mom. You seem to like it. Hey. AARGH. A Shinigami? The way you were acting just now, I can tell you know it isn't just any old notebook, right? Why are you so surprised to see me? I'm Ryuk, the Shinigami who dropped that notebook. A death god. In fact, I'm not surprised to see you, Ryuk. Really. I've been waiting for you. Seeing things with my own eyes like this lets me act with greater certainty. Not that I doubted this was a death god's notebook, but very kind of you. Gee, a personal visit from a Shinigami. Plus, there are some things I wanted to ask you. But no one's ever done this many in just 5 days. I've heard of death notes getting down to the human world a few times before. Gotta say, I'm the one who's surprised. Hee, wow, this is amazing. Most people would be too scared. I'm ready for anything, Ryuk. I used the notebook, knowing it belonged to a Shinigami, and now the Shinigami's here. I'm not going to do anything to you. fantasy you humans came up with? What's that? Huh? So it's yours now. The moment a death note lands in the human world, it belongs to the human world. Mine. You don't want it, give it to another human. When you do, I'll just have to erase all your death note memories. Oh, and is the bond between Light the human and Ryukte Shinigami. The death note. Nobody else can hear me either, of course. Since you've used what was my notebook, you are the only one who can see me. The bond. The girls were talking, I know, so, haha, no way. Well, not exactly. So there really is no price to pay for using the death note. When you die, I'll be the one writing your name down, but there is the terror and torment that only humans who have used it will experience. Don't think that any human who's used the death note can go to heaven or to hell. That's all. You'll find out about that after you die. Hung. Why did you choose me? Okay, one more question. That's why I wrote the instructions in English. It's the most popular language in your world. It just happened to land somewhere around here, and you just happened to pick it up. All I did was drop the notebook, that's all. You thought I chose you? 'Cause you are so smart or something? Yuk. Don't flatter yourself. Why did I drop it? Don't tell me it was by mistake, after you went and wrote all those instructions. Then why did you drop it? Because I was bored, that's why. In actual fact, Shinigami these days don't have a lot to do. All they do is nap or gamble. If they see you scribbling humans' names into your death note, they say, "What are you working so hard for?" and laugh at you. I just didn't feel like I was really alive. It might be a weird thing for a Shinigami to say, but if I write the names of Shinigami into the book, they don't die. I'm in the Shinigami's realm, so killing people in the human world isn't any fun. It's more fun to be here, is how I figured it. Gotta say though, you really wrote a lot of names in here. Shinigami reaction? Light, I was too bored. But that notebook has a power that makes anybody want to try using it, at least once. Of course, I didn't believe it at first. If someone actually dies, would that make me a murderer? Wait a minute. And there has to be a way to find out right away if they die. Someone it's okay to kill, who has no relation to me at all. I guess it would have to be. Geez, I'm getting too serious about this. Hey, that's right. 2 days ago, Otoharada. The Metropolitan Police have determined the man's identity. He is Kuro Otoharada, 42 years old and unemployed. The man who indiscriminately killed and wounded 6 people yesterday in Shinjuku is still barricaded inside this nursery school, with 8 hostages, including little children. Writing name, nothing. I knew it, that's 40 seconds, and it's a heart attack. They all seem to be alright. And now the police are going in. Will they be able to arrest Otoharada? What's this? The hostages are coming out. They're coming back out. Blah blah. What exactly is going on? But no sign of their captor just yet. Dead? It appears Otoharada's dead. A heart attack. Well, the hostages are apparently saying he suddenly collapsed. Could that mean he committed suicide? The police are emphasizing that they did not shoot him. Light. It could just be a coincidence. There's only one way to find out. It would be okay to kill. No, who ought to die? Yeah. I was just getting ready to go. But not anyone too major, or the cops might keep it secret for a while. So I guess it has to be a criminal, after all. What? Again? Lend me some money, 2000 will do it. I need a result right away. Am I being too careful? A guy like that, nobody's even going to notice. No, I should avoid anybody I actually know. Try killing him? Yo, dudes. We are going to the game center tonight. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. You are our star pupil. We need you to place first again. You, Yagami, Mr. Number 1 nationwide. What are you doing spacing out? OW. My mom isn't here yet. What's that nag doing? Geez. Hey, can I go too? Yeah, totally. Hey, Mackie. Wanna party tomorrow with some guys from S college? 10 o'clock. Damn. Start looking around you. And all you see are people the world would be better off without. Hey Taku, you got good taste, man. How about having some fun with me tonight? Hey girlie. My name's Taku Shibuimaru, that's Shibutku for short. Hey, come on, girlie, how about it? Girl says I don't think so. Biker, come on. She don't think so, dude. Light was hearing everything. Now, while watching the watch. Hey girlie. I got wheels, remember? She got away. Light, let's see what happens. Taku. Watch out. The truck hit him so hard. Light really works, the death note proves it. Damn idiot, what were you think? Yeah, RGH. I'm outta here, man. Taku. Org. What an accident. I've killed 2 people. What do I do? Me, I've killed 2 people. No. Get rid of this evil thing. That wasn't worth the death penalty, what he did. But what about the second guy? I was actually doing a service, killing him. This is what I've been thinking all along. No, wait. It really needs to be cleaned up. This world is a rotten mess. The question is, with this notebook, I can actually do it. Do I have the guts? Maybe not. Can I take it? Well, it's only natural. They're human lives, of course, it isn't easy. Just 2. And look at me. The world needs to be cleaned up. Somebody has to do this. But, come on, I can't quit. So I lose my peace of mind. So I sacrifice people's lives. But I do. Nobody would have the guts. Just suppose I gave this notebook to someone else. Could they do it? So I'll do it. I'm the only one who could do it. Not just that. I could do it. To change the world. I'm using the death note. Writing in the names of the world's most brutal criminals. Still, I'm on a mission here. So I've been. I admit, it's been giving me bad dreams, and I've hardly slept the last 5 days. I've lost 10 pounds. Okay. Plus everything on the internet. World news 24 hours a day on TV. All the data I need is in my room. That's the best thing about the death note, Ryuk. If you don't specify the cause of death, they all die from a heart attack. Can't be bothered? But you only specified the cause of death for the guy who got hit by a truck, nobody else. How come? Even a fool is going to notice that somebody is bumping off the bad guys. And every single one of them will die of a heart attack. I've already covered the most vicious criminals. So now the level of atrocity is coming down. that somebody is passing righteous judgment on them. I'm going to make the whole world know I'm here. I'll gradually be killing off immoral people and those who harass others through illness and accidents. And while people who obviously deserve to be punished are dying of heart attacks, the world will start to become a better place. And then, nobody will commit crimes anymore. I'll make this a world inhabited only by people I decide are good. Even that will eventually be noticed by the idiot masses. They'll realize they'll die if they don't change their ways, and I'm a serious, straight-A student, a model teenager. You do something like that, the only one left with a bad personality will be you. What are you talking about, Ryuk? I will reign over a new world. Humans are fun. I was right. A meeting of the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol. AG8 Summit. We may assume that more wanted criminals, whose whereabouts are unknown, have died as well. All of the victims are criminals either being pursued by police or already behind bars. Every single one from cardiac arrest. 52 in the past week, and that's just those we know about. In which case, the death toll will be well over 100. So Interpol's finally starting to move on this. Well, this is one case where I'm going to need some help from the police. Chapter or Volume 1 ends.
And so, the first chapter closes, with Light Yagami stepping into a world of power and chaos. The Death Note has begun to reshape his destiny, and the line between justice and destruction grows ever thinner. This is only the beginning.
What if you had the power to decide who lives and who dies? Light Yagami does. And the world will never be the same. Let's start the Chapter 2 of Death Note. The Death Note, a notebook which causes people whose names are written within to die. Light Yagami, the teenager who has decided to use this notebook as a means to purge the world of evil. And Ryuk, the Shinigami, the original owner of the notebook, who seems content to act as a spectator as Light pursues his project. I don't have time to waste, Ryuk, Light says. I gotta say, you are really dedicated to this. But I need to get enough sleep, because if I don't, it'll affect my health and my concentration. So I can't sleep in class, and I have to do all my homework for both school and my prep course. It's important that I stay at the top of my class. I only have a few hours a day to write names into the notebook between getting home from school and going to bed. I am ridding the world of evil and creating a utopia. No matter how much time I have, it won't be enough. Every single one from cardiac arrest. 52 in the past week, and that's just those we know about. A meeting of the International Criminal Police Organization Interpol, AG8 Summit, in which case, the death toll would be well over 100. We may assume that more wanted criminals, whose whereabouts are unknown, have died as well. All of the victims are criminals either being pursued by police or already behind bars. That's right. Violent criminals or death row inmates, if someone kills them, it's murder. Who just said that? That is a totally irresponsible view. But they're all violent criminals who deserve the death penalty several times over. Is it really a great concern? Who could possibly murder that many people over such a wide area, virtually simultaneously? How could more than 100 heart attacks be a coincidence? Of course it's murder. But has it been verified that it's murder? The only large organization capable of pulling off something like that, I believe, would be the CIA or the FBI. We believe this is a carefully orchestrated mass assassination carried out by a large organization. Please refrain from jokes in questionable taste. Now, I dare you to say that again. I have to say, it is a problem if we have condemned prisoners dying before their sentence is carried out. It's not a question of pride. With so many criminals dying, our pride as police. How about putting it to a vote? It would be one thing if they had a knife sticking out of them. You can't track down a murderer when the cause of death is a heart attack. But the coroner's report for every single one says cardiac arrest. Cause unknown. Why don't we first ascertain whether this is really murder or just coincidence? I think we have no choice. This is another one for L. L's real name or whereabouts or even what he looks like. Nobody knows. That's right. This is your first Interpol meeting. What's that, Chief? But he has solved countless unsolved cases so far. You might say he's our trump card, our ace in the hole. Something like that. I suppose you could call him a sleuth. No. Well, anyway, nobody knows who he is. But he can solve any case, no matter what it is. L is already involved. That's right. And anyway, we have no way of contacting him. But they say L only gets involved in cases that interest him. If not, forget it. Vatari. L has been investigating this case for some days now. He isn't with us. Vatari is the only person who can contact L, but nobody knows who he really is either. Huh? Vatari? There's another Japanese here? Silence, please. You will now hear L speak. The case before us is unprecedented in scope and difficulty. Good afternoon. This is 151 of police worldwide with a resolution to that effect passed at the Interpol meeting today in order to solve it. I request the full cooperation. And 15, a monstrous crime of mass murder that must be stopped at all costs. Scene shift now. Light and his friends are chilling out. Man, I am like glued to the news these days. Yeah, me too. I know. I did some shoplifting back in grade school and I am freaking about it. But now we can't do anything bad anymore. Haha. It's kinda scary, but pretty cool too. I mean, they totally deserve it. The cops couldn't pull it off. It's got to be some superhero brigade, like X-Men or something. It's got to be the cops, right? Who else could it be? Scene shift now. Light reaches home and talks to Ryuk. Not really. Ryuk, you seem to be enjoying this. Light, be good, dude, bye. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Because I leave the death note here at home. Mom to Light. Hello, dear. Light to Mom. I am home. Light headed to his room and locked the door. Until I see this, when I'm at school or anywhere else, I just can't relax. People are already putting up websites. Check this out. Ryuk. The website scene read, The Legend of Kira the Savior. Why are the world's criminals being eliminated one by one? Because Lord Kira has returned. Lord Kira is a messenger from hell who will not suffer the presence of evil in this world. Beware, you may only enter the site if you believe in Lord Kira's resurrection. Light clicked enter. People all over the world already feel it, that someone is passing righteous judgment on them. Media reports still refer only to the series of mysterious deaths among violent criminals. But all you have to do is Google Kira and you find tons of sites like this. Kira. I don't really like how it obviously comes from killer, but that's what people all over the world already know me as. There's no way the subject would be, is it alright to kill someone evil? Say in school, we have a discussion in class. This is what human beings are like. Ryuk questioned. People need to maintain that kind of facade in public. And of course, that would be the proper response. Everyone would act all virtuous and say, no, it's wrong to kill anybody. But this is what they really think. Those with clean consciences are cheering Kira on in their hearts. People know. They won't come out and say it, but they know someone is killing off the bad guys. It's going exactly the way I planned. This is great. While the guilty are living in fear, waiting for judgment to strike them. With Japanese voiceover by interpreter Yosho Anderson, we are interrupting the program to bring you a live, globally televised broadcast from Interpol. Light thought, what the hell? I am Lined L. Taylor, more commonly known as L. The sole person able to mobilize police in every country worldwide. But he's never shown his face before, right? Why? I guess that's how serious he is about this case. So this is L. Special Investigation Headquarters for Criminal Victim Mass Murder Case. Now let's see you prove what you said at the Interpol meeting. All right, L, we've been giving you our full cooperation. Good. I strongly request the cooperation of the Japanese police in particular. Interpol has passed a resolution promising you their full cooperation. And if not Japanese, that they are in Japan. Whether this is being carried out by a group or by an individual, it's highly probable that they're Japanese. But why Japan? What? I think, why Japan? How can? On what evidence? But how? In Japan? Therefore, request that the investigation be headquartered in Japan. I'll be able to show you why very soon in a direct confrontation with the killer. Let's watch and find out. What's he planning? Is this going to be that direct confrontation he was talking about? Kira, as the perpetrator is commonly known, will be caught. Guarantee it. The monstrous crime must be stopped at all costs, which has turned into the biggest mass murder case in history. Criminals have been the target of a killing spree. Light listens silently. He guarantees you'll be caught. Ryuk hummed. I was so ready for this. The police, this guy. I knew this would happen. I've got the death note. See? Without this notebook, you don't have any proof. None. There's no way you can catch me. Morin. Like hell, I'll be caught. But what you are doing? Kira. I think I've got a pretty good idea of why you're doing this. Silence is evil. Light, I'm evil? Me? They're the evil ones. Those who try to fight me. I'm the hero who's liberating people from fear. I'm the savior who's going to be like a god of this perfect new world. I am righteous. If you'd been smarter, this could have gotten interesting. You are too damn stupid. L. 20 seconds to go. Police worldwide have launched a coordinated investigation. Countdown going. Now we'll see what happens to those who offend Lord Kira. The whole world's watching. L. Countdown ends. Light laughing. Light shocked. I don't believe it. What? Light could not believe it. His hunch was right. He had never imagined it. But now, seeing it with his own eyes, it made perfect sense. Kira could actually kill people without direct contact. This was an experiment to test his theory. He had never really thought it would work, but here it was. Ryuk laughed. He got you there. The media kept everything about Lined L. Taylor's arrest and conviction under wraps. No one knew, not even Light. He couldn't have known about it. It wasn't him. He heard L's voice, calmly speaking directly to him. Listen to me, Kira. If you just killed Lined L. Taylor, the man you saw on your TV, he was a condemned criminal, scheduled to die today at this hour. But I, L, do in fact exist. The L logo flashed on screen. Come on. If you can do it, what are you waiting for? Light stared at the TV in shock. He was dumbfounded. What is this crazy guy doing? He's going to die. L was upping the stakes, daring Light to do something. Light's eyes narrowed. That jerk. He couldn't do it. He just couldn't. Ryuk chuckled, watching intently. The crowd murmured. Creepy. It's murder. Live on TV. Some in the crowd were still confused. Who's L? I've heard of Kira. But Kira really exists? Others were starting to catch on. It's Kira versus L. L was calm, exhaling in relief. Evidently, you aren't able to kill me. Now, I'll give you some information in return. L then dropped a bombshell. So there are people you can't kill. That's a valuable clue. He continued, you are in the Kanto region of Japan, Kira. The plan was to broadcast this live across other areas, but that's no longer necessary. Actually, it was broadcast only in the Kanto region around Tokyo, although it was announced as being globally televised. Ryuk laughed again. He's pretty sharp, this L. L carried on. And although the police missed it, your first victim was the Shinjuku killer, who took 8 people hostage in a nursery school. I knew, Kira, that you were in Japan. Your first victim wasn't anything but a guinea pig to test your powers. What's more, this case was reported only in Japan, nowhere else. That was all the information I needed. L then elaborated on the crime. His crime, when compared to the notorious murderers who died of heart attacks, wasn't that serious. We broadcast first to Kanto because it has the largest regional population. That you happened to be there was pure luck. Light was in awe. Indeed. He's proven that Kira exists, that he can kill from afar, and that he's in Japan. The realization hit him hard. Wow, this is pretty amazing. L smirked. Now, I dare say, it may not be long before I send you to die. Light clenched his fists. I didn't expect this to work so perfectly according to plan. But I'll find out how you work after I catch you. L's voice echoed in Light's mind. But that's something I'm curious about, Kira. How do you carry out your murders? To die. Light muttered under his breath. Ryuk observed quietly as Light stood frozen, thinking about what to do next. I'm going to find and dispose of you, if it's the last thing I do. Light's words rang out. Right, yes. I'm. Till we meet again, Kira. L's voice was cold, almost mocking. And whoever is found first is out. Dead. The scene shifted. Light and L were now both trying to find each other, without knowing anything about the other. Not their name, their face, or anything else. Ryuk was watching with amusement. I'm watching this contest to the bitter end. Light smiled grimly. I will win. And in the midst of it all, a riot began. Humans, so unpredictable, so lost in their own chaos. The chapter ended. One notebook, one name, one death. Light Yagami versus L, a battle of wits that will decide the fate of the world. Chapter 3. Hey, you seen Ryuk around lately? As if something like that happened, he'd have to stick around until that human died or the notebook is done. I mean, what if a human picked it up before he found it? Koizi said he dropped his notebook down to the human world. You think that was for real? Why would he want to? Plus, I heard he had two notebooks. You never know with Ryuk, though. No. What a pain in the butt. Not even Ryuk would wanna do that. I want to see what the cops do next. Just taking a little break. Plus, I'm kind of tired. Never seen you looking so listless, Light. Haha. I guess it might be pretty interesting if I wasn't Kira. You can't avoid it, even if you want to. Take one step out of the house, all you hear about is L and Kira. Some people are still denying we even exist. Meanwhile, this magazine is claiming that L and Kira were invented by the police, who are eliminating criminals without recourse to law. Super Sleuth L, Interpol's shadowy mastermind, versus Supernatural Kira, telepathic mass murderer. Gotta give his mind a rest, once in a while. If Kira pays too much attention to this stuff, it just stresses him out. Turn on the TV or radio, it's Kira versus L there as well. Light remains silent. Ryuk, arrest? Police all over the world are on your tail. Light. You sure you can afford to chill? The reason I could make the decision to purge the world of evil. When I picked up this notebook. Yeah, I can. Certain advantage. Was that I knew I could stick it out even if the police started a manhunt. I have a certain advantage, see. Why do you have to lock your door, Light? Door lock voice. I need some help with my homework. What? Oh hey, Sayu. Light opens the drawer. Oh, okay, sure. Hang on a second. Ryuk, watch out. Light. Tada. Quadratic functions. She comes in. Light? Huh. Now he tells me something crucial like that. This damn Shinigami. That death note in your drawer. If she touches it, well, anyone who touches it can see me. Hey, you. Oh, I know. Is this why you locked your door? Hey, you were reading this magazine? Isn't it kinda dirty? Oh, yeah. You're going to be a detective when you grow up, so you're studying for that, too. Wow. I was looking at the articles about Kira and L. But that's years and years from now, if he makes it at all. Could this be the advantage she was talking about? I bet you will, too, Light. You really could. That's right. I'm going to be the top honcho at the National Police Agency. I'm still here. Can't do it. Kira? Why couldn't Kira kill me that time? What is it? Vatari? Good. Link me up. The task force. It's starting its meeting. So it's got to be. Because he doesn't know what I look like? Considering the circumstances, he definitely would have done it if he could. Because I'm not a criminal? That couldn't be it. Special Investigation Headquarters for Criminal Victim Mass Murder Case. The building. Yes, sir. Next, the victims. As for, we've been able to determine that details regarding all of those believed to be victims, i.e., criminals who have died of cardiac arrest, were available in Japan. On weekends and national holidays, the time of death was scattered between 11 a.m. and about 2 a.m. 68% of the victims died on a weekday between 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. Japan time, with a majority of those between 8 p.m. and midnight. The time of death, which L was particularly interested in finding out. So far, we've received 3,029 phone calls from the public. Yes, sir. Tip-offs. Okay, next. We got detailed descriptions from those callers, which are given in my report. But I think it's safe to say none of them are credible. There were 14 callers who claimed to either know Kira or to have seen him, of which the vast majority wanted to know if the Interpol broadcast the other day was genuine and or if L actually exists. But, yeah, right. We also received 21 calls from people claiming to be Kira. So that's all the reports for today. Not wanting to rule out any possibility, however slight, we took statements from each one and have them on file. Here, sir. What is it, Matsuda? Next. If you've noticed anything or have a question, go ahead. There has been a dramatic decrease in the number of violent crimes committed worldwide, especially in Japan. This is in no way meant to give credit to Kira, but, well, in the past few days. Anyone else? Well, I suppose that's only to be expected, considering. I feel like we're getting a little closer. L, thank you. So, I guess that's all for today's meeting. L, I'd like you to investigate once more how the victims were reported in the Japanese media. This is for the squads in charge of victims, media, and the internet. Now, I've got another request for you, if you don't mind. Namely, I want to know if reports included photographs or footage showing the faces of the criminals who later died. Thank you for your help. Everyone else, continue with the investigation or go home and get some sleep, as you wish. Meeting's over. All right, to teams on the night shift. Huh? You bet. Pulled another all-nighter yesterday. Chief, are you heading home? What is it, Matsuda? You must be tired, sir. Of course, it would have been a problem if you'd said, crimes have been decreasing thanks to Kira, so let's honor him for that. I would never say that, sir. Honor that psychopath. What are you talking about? Facts are facts, and they need to be laid out on the table. All the more so if they're hard to bring up. When I said, crimes have been decreasing, well, I'm sure it's something everyone's noticed, but maybe I shouldn't have said it. Look, did you really get it? Gosh, you're such a math whiz. Well, sort of. Oh, that must be Dad. He's home early today. Door knocks. Welcome, dear. Coming. A girl says, Hi, Daddy. Light, Sayu, it's dinner time. Come downstairs. After dinner, okay? Hey, at least solve the last problem by yourself. Scene shifts to his dad and Light. Dad, welcome home. Thanks. Finally. How's school going? Light? Light reacts. Yes, we can count on Light. Yup, top of the class as usual. You can count on Light. Same as usual. Dad. Light? Okay. Are you sure you want to know? I guess it's same as usual for me, too. Girl. Who? Me? And what about you, Sayu? Dad. I see. Light? You seem tired. Dad. Ryuk? Listening. It's practically a wild goose chase. Well, this case is a hard one, to put it mildly. The person in charge of the investigation did say today that judging from the estimated time of death, the killer is probably a student. But the detective superintendent of the NPA. Light's advantage is his father. Why not? We've had cases before where ideas from Light helped us move the investigation forward. I really don't think this is a subject for the dinner table. Sayu, was that all the help you needed? Yeah, thanks. What, already? Light, I'm done. Oh, and Mom. Gee, Light. Thanks a lot for blabbing. Was Light helping you do your homework again? Sayu? Light starting to act like a real teenager. You know, I never clean your room. You've been doing it yourself since starting high school. I'll clean up my room myself, so don't come inside. So they've already narrowed it down to a student in the Kanto region of Japan. Light. Door voice. Now I can use the death note at a different level. I've been acting from the start to lead them to that conclusion. Ryuk. Narrowed it down? So, if I write heart attack as the cause of death, I can add all kinds of details. I think you're going to enjoy what happens next. Ryuk, if the cause of death is written within 40 seconds of writing the person's name, it will happen. If the cause of death is not specified, the person will simply die of a heart attack. After writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Correct. Ryuk, there were 23 heart attack victims again yesterday. Employee. Yes, sir. Another employee. Not again? Special Investigation Headquarters for 3 days later. Criminal victim mass murder case. 3 days later. Died exactly 1 hour apart from each other. And just like the day before, they were all prison inmates. So we'd know immediately they died. And all 23 of them. That isn't it. Come on, anybody could skip school for a couple days. Looks like it might not be a student, after all. 2 days in a row, and both of those were weekdays. He's free to set the time of death as he pleases. What Kira's saying is, it's true he might not be a student, but that isn't what Kira's trying to tell us. And this is clearly a challenge directed at me. Also, that he has some way of getting information known only to the police. Hey, I bet Ellis really floundering now. Huh, so that's what you've been doing. A problem? I still have a reserve of at least 50 criminals I've kept aside for times like this. Ryuk, Uno. Whoever touches the death note can see you. Right, Ryuk? But I've got a problem that needs to be solved, too. Until now, I was thinking if anyone in my family saw it, I could explain it by saying I've been keeping notes on the Kira case to practice becoming a detective. But walking around with this thing is even more dangerous. Ever since I heard that, I've been keeping it on me. Kira, if I blow it, even without this headache, I'm walking on a tightrope here. We'll have to kill his own family. The chapter 3 ends. Chapter 4 current. Whoever touches the death note can see you, right? That's a problem. I don't think you came here because you enjoy the ambience. What are you up to? Light? Yeah, you can't exactly pass me off as a friend. Ryuk, listening. Nope. My sister would have a heart attack just from seeing your face. BWF. From the estimated time of the victims' deaths, I told the task force that there was a strong possibility Kira is a student. He was showing me that he can set the time of death. And then, as if mocking the very notion, the next day, Kira eliminated 23 prisoners at intervals of exactly 1 hour and did the same thing again the next day. Does that mean he managed to dupe me? Until then, Kira was setting the time of death to lead me to the conclusion that the perpetrator was a student. What's Kira's real aim in letting me know that? That's the main point. But the bigger issue is that Kira has some way of obtaining information known only to the task force. I have to do something about that. Police information is leaking to Kira. Regardless, what is he trying to do? Go somewhere the police can't see or hear you. And link me up to the director of the FBI. I'm outside. What is it? Leave the task force office for a moment. Vatari, it's me. I need some things for hiding the notebook. Now for some shopping. At the same time, it has to be someplace my family would never touch it. I want to hide it in my room where I can easily take it out and put it back. If he wants to catch Kira, he needs a confession from me or the death note. One or the other. L is starting to suspect people involved in the investigation. And by now. So if I'm hiding it anyway, I might as well put it someplace they'll never find, even if they come to the house with a search warrant. And that's the advantage you were talking about if the cops start closing in. Your dad's the NPA's chief of detectives, so you can use him to find out what the cops know. Someone in the background says thank you. Light thinks. Ryuk says, hey Light, can I ask you a question? So I can stay right on top of the investigation. I can even hack into my dad's computer from mine without leaving a trail. Isn't it a lot worse to have him realize you have a link to the cops than to have him think you're a student? But why did you deliberately do something to make L suspect people involved in the investigation? Remember what I told you about human beings being foolish, two-faced creatures. But you don't have a very good understanding of human beings yet. Ryuk listens. Very good. Ryuk, so you noticed that was strange. If all I do is hide the notebook, I'm not going to find him. Am I? I want to find L and eliminate him. The answer to your question is, in human society, there are very few people who truly trust each other. That's true even within the police. He's going to look for me within the NPA. Now that L knows I have access to task force information. Who would trust someone who keeps his name and face hidden from you? They don't trust each other at all. Never have. When it comes to the police and L, well, I guess they actually are working together. On the face of it, L and the police are working together to catch me. And when that happens, it'll just be a matter of time before the cops get really mad. But behind the scenes, L will be spying on the police. And the police will be trying to track down L. So L is not going to be found by me. I'm positive that the one who's going to have the police closing in on him first is L, not Kira. And then I'll eliminate him. The police will take care of that part for me. What the hell is this? Letter of resignation. Exactly what it says. A letter of resignation. But why? Either you put me on another case, sir, or if you can't do that, I leave the NP. Why? Because I value my life. Sir, if I were Kira, I'd try to get rid of the people who are trying to catch me. Because if we catch him, he gets the death sentence. According to Ellis reasoning, Kira uses some paranormal means to kill people without having direct contact with them. Correct? That time he pulled the stunt with a televised broadcast, L dared Kira to kill. He wanted to know if photographs or footage showing their faces were included in the reports. And then, the other day, he told us to check how the victims had been reported in the Japanese media. But L never announced his name or even showed his face in that broadcast. We don't hide our faces. We are right out there in the open. In other words, unlike L, we all do our work carrying police I.D.S with our photographs right there on them. Well, they were. Every single victim so far was someone whose face was shown in Japanese media reports. Kira could get us anytime. And that's why we're requesting a transfer, sir. We've got families, sir. But, hey, wait a minute. So for Kira to murder somebody, he needs to know what they look like, at the very least. That and, yeah, we're sitting ducks while El just leaves Vatari here and talks to us through his computer. They're right when you think about it. Ryuk, you managed to hide the notebook? Light, yup, that was easier than I thought. Ryuk, does that count as a hiding place? It's hidden inside this drawer. I can just keep the key in there. It's better to hide it someplace obvious looking like this. Most people would probably just read this diary with its boring descriptions of what I do every day and think that's what I was keeping under lock and key. That's not the death note. It's just a plain old diary. Light explaining drawer key and its mechanism. On the underside of the drawer is a tiny hole. You wouldn't notice unless you were looking for it. The ink cartridge of a ballpoint pen. You stick this into the hole. Something nobody, would be surprised to find lying around my desk. I get it. The drawer has a false bottom. This is why you spent so much time at that store, picking out a book. Even if they suspect the drawer has a false bottom, they'll never be able to just lift the notebook out like this. Light, that's not all. Ryuk, I guess nobody will find the notebook. With that diary as a decoy and this. The ink cartridge is plastic, so it doesn't conduct electricity. Unless you stick it in here, a current will pass through this and ignite the gasoline in this thin plastic bag. The notebook will go up in flames, just like the one I tried outside this afternoon. See this? In other words, unless you open it exactly like this. When I close the false bottom, this rubber here goes between the metal pieces, so it replaces the ink cartridge as the insulator, and the current stays eternal. If they question why I went to all this trouble, I just have to say that was my real diary, and I didn't want anyone to see it. That's the most human of reasons, and there will be the remains of a notebook in there after all. The notebook goes up in flames, and all the evidence is completely destroyed. If you turn the drawer over or force the cover over, the moment you do that. But I bet you're the first one who went this far. Like, I'd heard that when humans get hold of a death note, finding a hiding place for it becomes their number one headache. I'd hardly call this play Ryuk. And anyway, playing with fire, if you make even a little mistake opening this, you'll burn yourself really bad. Still, talk about playing with fire. Light. I've been playing with fire from the start, taking all kinds of risks. And each of those risks actually helped make me safer. Ryuk listening, what's better, having a small fire in the house or getting the death penalty? Huh? Scene shift to FBI headquarters. Yes, that's right. I'm requesting that you conduct a thorough, top-secret probe of all NPA personnel involved in the Kira case, as well as their close friends and families. The number of American criminals believed to be Kira's victims is 15,327. That's by far the most worldwide. But we're already putting a lot of manpower into this case. Yes, in fact, I'm sure of it. L, are you suggesting one of them may be Kira? And please do the best you can. We have to stop Kira as soon as we can. Thank you. All. Right, we'll do as you ask. Here the chapter ends.
Chapter 5 Eyeballs. Within the NPA, there are 141 people with access to task force information. Yes, FBI agents entered Japan 4 days ago. Watari, the FBI has started its probe. I have received a list of all the NPA personnel working on this case. But one of these 141 people, or someone very close to one of them, is Kira. I am sure of it. At the Prep Academy, Ryuk is sneaking around unnoticed. Yeah, I know. But I want to tell you this right now. People cannot hear you, Ryuk, but they can hear me. I told you, do not talk to me outside my room. Light, you got a moment? But that is because I have to stick around until the notebook is finished or you are finished. That is, dead. I do not have anything against you, Light. In a way, I think you are the best person who could have picked up my notebook. I am neither on your side nor Alice's side in this. I knew that. Ryuk, what is up? Ryuk, why are you telling me all this now? It is not like you. But I will speak up once in a while as your roommate. So I am not going to tell you that what you are doing is right or wrong. I will not say a word about that. It is just because it is bugging me personally. What I meant was, what I am about to tell you is not spoken as Kira's ally. These last couple of days, it is really getting on my nerves. I am always hovering behind you. So I noticed it right away. And just get to the point, will you? This guy has been following every step you take. Ryuk says he does not see me, of course, but I feel like I am being watched. For 2 days, he has been seeing an ordinary college-bound senior. That is all. Or rather, a super college-bound senior. Yeah, that is a pain in the butt. I will get rid of him for real soon. Ryuk, I am home. Hello, Light. Obviously, he has not entered my room. L realized that Kira had access to information known only to the task force. So now he suspects it is someone in the NPA. So my father, who heads the task force, has been put under surveillance too. So first I better find out who L is using. He would not use Japanese police to probe the NPA. So whoever is doing it must have quite a few people on the job. And it has only been 6 days since the leak, yet I have already been followed for 2 days. And I am only a family member. But if the operation goes on for months, there is a slight chance that I will come under scrutiny. Let us say they have 50 people probing the NPA. The likelihood that I am suspected of being Kira is 0. There are too many other suspects. I need to find out what my shadow's name is. If I can do that, it is all under control. Ryuk, Light. So what is the best way of getting his name without raising his suspicions? There are 2 big differences between Shinigami and humans who have a death note. You are in a really talkative mood today. Ryuk, how would I know? Do you know why Shinigami write people's names into these notebooks? Extra life? It is because Shinigami get extra life from humans. 60 minus 40 is 20. So those 20 years of human world time get added onto the Shinigami's lifespan. Let us say you have someone whose natural lifetime in the human world is 60 years. If a Shinigami writes them in to die at 40. I have seen Shinigami who died naturally. Though, those who sat around doing nothing, living for centuries without remembering to write down a single human name. And so, unless they are really lazy, you can shoot them through the head, or knife them in the heart, or anything, and a Shinigami will not die. Well, we are gods of a sort, after all. But apparently, a way to kill a Shinigami does exist. And I do not know what it is myself. To tell you the truth, the human world does not mean a thing to the Shinigami. But anyway, Shinigami these days do not have feelings like I do not like this human, or let us make the human world a better place, or let us make it a worse place. Talk about a meaningless existence. Nobody even knows what we are here for anymore. The realm of the Shinigami has really gone to the dogs these days. They just do not want to die, so they get life from humans. And then they just go on with their own empty lives. Your existence, the realm of the Shinigami, is so meaningful it is scary. And that is true in any age. A Shinigami like you comes down once in 100 years. No, once in 1,000 years. And the human world is totally transformed. You are a real fool. Ryuk. Haha. If the place is really as gone to the dogs as you say, how about making some changes when you go back? You know, apply some of what you are seeing here. Ryuk says, you think? Of course, I am. If I were not an optimist, I would not have thought I could make the world a better place. Light, I think you might actually be a real positive thinker. That is the first big difference between a Shinigami and a human with a death note. But if you write humans' names into the death note, Light, you will not get any extensions on your lifespan. This is not about extending your lifespan, though it is about shortening it. The other difference might be even more interesting to you. Light, nobody knows this stuff about Shinigami. This is way more interesting than that thing you told me earlier. Ryuk says, I know. We Shinigami look down on the human world from our realm to choose which humans we will write into our notebooks. The unlucky one is possessed by Shinigami. But usually, it is just whoever your eye happens to land on. There might be some preferences involved. So how do we know the person's name just by looking at them? Well, a Shinigami's eyes can see a human's name and lifespan over their head when we look at them. And how much extra life they will get if they kill them. Yeah, that is why Shinigami always know the name of the person they are killing. Their name and lifespan, and our eyes are different. That is the biggest difference between you and me, which will give that human a Shinigami's eyes. There is a deal that, traditionally, Shinigami who drop their death note can only make with the human who picks it up. The price of a Shinigami's eyes is half of their remaining lifetime. Half of that human's remaining lifetime. And if you have just 1 year left, it is 6 months. Yeah, so if you have 50 years left, that is 25. Of course, I can see your name and lifespan right now. Light. Of course. And I know I literally have a big mouth. I would never tell you what that is. If I convert it to human world time, I know exactly how many years you have left. No, in fact, that is one of the rules of the Shinigami realm. And since you are not on Kira's side or Ella's side, even if you see the name of the person I want to kill, you are not going to tell me what it is. In other words, this deal was invented to help humans who have picked up death notes. I ought to tell you this deal has no advantages for the Shinigami. I can extend my lifespan using anybody. And with those, I can look at anyone and know what their name is. Give me half of your remaining lifetime, and you can have a Shinigami's eyes. Here the chapter ends.
जा पूछ क्या
अरे